Greetings and welcome to Let's Talk About Books, baby, where we talk with your favorite LGBTQ authors. This is Anita Kelly, and my guest today is Anna Hartnett Reichardt. Hi, Anna.
Hey, Anita. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for being on. How are you doing?
I am great. You're my first podcast, so I'm so stoked.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. I like to be the first.
There you go. You got it in.
So, Anna, let's talk about books. Let's talk about your book.
Let's do it. Yeah.
All right.
Coming out
Tomorrow. That is awesome.
I'm pretty excited.
It's coming out, and tomorrow is September 1st. It's coming out September 1st. And what is it called?
So it's called Catching Feelings.
All right.
A little bit of a double entendre there.
All right. So Catching Feelings, and it's coming out tomorrow. And tell us all about it. What is Catching Feelings about?
Yeah. So Catching Feelings is the second book of the Alder Series. The first book is Changing Majors. Catching Feelings is different main characters, but there are a couple of cameos from the first book. And Catching Feelings is about Andy Foster, who is a catcher on the Alder Lions softball team. She is a little reserved, a little quiet. She is an only child and is dealing with a sick parent. And it's kind of one of the types of people who, doesn't like to take up a lot of space if she doesn't need to. But much to the starting pitcher, Maya's dismay, she's named not only the starting catcher, but also the captain of the team. And Maya is not happy about it.
Oh.
So they have a lot to get over to be able to work together and kind of lead their team to some wins and hopefully a national championship. And, they might be super attracted to each other on top of that.
A catcher-pitcher love story. I love it.
What could go wrong?
Not much, really. So, Alder, for our listeners who don't know, what is Alder? You said that she's an Alder softball player.
Yeah, so Alder University is a fictional Catholic college in the North Georgia mountains, established in the late 1800s. I believe, I might have to fact check myself. The Alder Series is just kind of like a glimpse of, a couple of four different love stories throughout the college years. So even though they're different leads in each book, they're all the same cohort. So they will all graduate together, and you will see, kind of continuing storylines throughout, and definitely more cameos to come.
That is really a unique concept to, write about different years in college. So I want to ask you, the first one, right, is called Changing Majors.
Yep.
And when did Changing Majors come out?
Changing Majors came out December 2021, so last year.
Okay. So not too long ago.
Not too long ago, no.
A half a year ago, maybe? And what is Changing Majors about?
So Changing Majors is really like the quintessential freshman year of college, where you just don't know anything about anything. You're a little lost, and not only are you lost, but you're also confused about your sexuality, or at least Bailey Sullivan is, who is our protagonist. And she is from Savannah, so going kind of from one, Georgia, southern place to another, and not feeling like she has the freedom to come out. Especially, I think we're all feeling that right now, kind of with all the laws passing and legislation being passed that make LGBTQ plus people feel like they, might not be safe. And she's definitely one of those people. And everyone is kind of confused about what the school policy is. So she has a lot to overcome, a lot to figure out, and she does indeed, or maybe not, change majors. You'll just have to read and find out.
Okay. So, how did you choose a Catholic private college in the Georgia mountains as the setting for your novels?
So that's a great question. I think like I wanted it to feel kind of removed and like kind of held in this different spot. Like I feel like if we're lucky enough to have a great college experience, that time in our lives is pretty precious.
Mm-hmm.
And I just liked the idea of all of these people and protagonists of my books just kind of experiencing this all together in a bit of a world away.
Okay.
And then I wanted it to be a Catholic college because I grew up Catholic, and I think a lot of people have that religious background, no matter what it might be, that either they lean into, and that's great, or they lean away from, and that's fine too. And I thought that was an interesting place to have a setting, especially because, not everyone who goes to a Catholic college is indeed Catholic. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great. Yeah, I'm a product of Catholic schools and Catholic college.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know it.
Yep. So, let's see. How did you when you wrote Changing Majors? Did you know when you wrote it that it was going to be part of a series, or what did it? Did you intend to have a standalone and it just kind of developed?
Yeah, I did not intend for it to be a series. I really didn't have much forethought about what would happen after. I would think I was just so shocked that I got published at all. And then the question is, what's next? And I'm pretty sure while my publisher emailed me back, is this going to be a series? And I was like, yeah, sure.
If you want it to be.
Yeah. I was like, I guess that makes my next 3 books pretty seamless.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so it just kind of happened upon that. And I'm really glad it turned out that way because I think it's a really fun exploration into all of our messy college years.
Okay. Yeah. They were messy.
Yeah, that's what they're there for.
So I just want to give a shout out to your publisher, right? Your publisher is Bold Strokes, right?
Yeah, Bold Strokes Books.
Okay. And so on September 1st, Catching Feelings comes out on the Bold Strokes website, right?
That's correct. Yep.
And then like later in the month, like around the 14th or 15th, it's available everywhere else, right?
Yeah, I believe it's September 13th. It's available everywhere.
Awesome. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you heard it here first, folks.
You heard it here first on my first ever podcast.
Sweet. So, Anna, I was reading a little bit about you before when I was getting ready to speak with you, and I saw that Chasing Cypress is due. It's like a pre-release right now on the Bold Strokes website. So is that junior year?
That is junior year, yeah. It's definitely going to be a pivot from sophomore year from Catching Feelings, but I'm excited for that one as well.
And what is Cypress? Is that a person or?
Yeah, so Cypress is the last name of the love interest, Olivia Cypress.
Uh-huh.
And then, and Maggie Hyde is the protagonist. And she is the oldest child of the owner of one of the biggest apple orchards in North Georgia. And she's legacy Alder University. Her grandfather helped establish the ag department at the university. So she's pretty ingrained into it all. And she has some stubborn ideals about agriculture and life. And All she wants to do is go back home and run that family orchard. But Olivia Cypress is kind of this free-spirited vegan, gasp to Maggie's heart, new student in her class that kind of turns it all upside down.
Wow, that sounds great. And,
yeah.
I have to ask then, is there going to be a senior year, and have you started writing that?
There is definitely going to be a senior year, and I have not started writing it, but I have started planning it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
going to kind of pivot. I'm going to take a small break from the Alder series and write my first adult contemporary romance, which that's what I'm currently working on.
Really?
The first draft of that. Yep. So I'm going to do that and then come back and finish senior year.
Okay. So the adult contemporary romance has nothing to do with the Alder series, right?
Not a thing.
All right.
There's still a lot of wine, just like in changing majors.
Okay. And did you pitch this to your publisher and they were like, yeah, let's do this? Or have you even presented it yet?
Yeah, so I pitched it to them. I was talking to Sandy, who's our senior editor at Bold Strokes, and I was like, hey, loving the Alder series, but how do you feel about me taking a little break and trying something different before I jump back in? Obviously I love Alder University and the whole series, but I think I want to have a freshened outlook for when I come back for senior year. The senior year is going to be epic. Everyone's going to graduate. It's going to be fantastic. So just wanted to take a brief step away, see if I can write some adult romance, and then I'll be right back at it.
Awesome. So do you have a date for the adult romance, like when that should be?
Yeah, so I believe that one is going to be coming out in about a year.
Okay.
So Chasing Cypress is February, and then I believe my adult contemporary is September.
Okay.
2023.
Great. So Chasing Cypress comes out in February of 2023, and the adult contemporary romance. Do you have a title for that yet?
I do, actually. So me and Luke Dreamer had a good laugh about this.
Okay.
Because we picked the same title, Crush. And actually, at GCLS, I was telling him, I was like, at first it was Crushed, ED, and Sandy suggested that I drop the ED, so it's more of a positive connotation. I was like, that's brilliant. And he told me he did the exact same thing, that it was supposed to be Crushed, and he dropped the ED too.
Oh, no way.
But he's so nice about it, and I think in the future we're probably going to do like a giveaway together or something like that.
How fun. That's awesome. And when's Luke's Crush coming out? Yeah.
Luke's Crush came out, I believe, last month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I told him I'm not reading it until after I finish my Crush.
Smart move. Yeah, smart move.
But I'm so excited to read it. It's gotten some awesome reviews. So.
Oh, great. So, I was wondering if, like, after senior year that, I don't know, if they were going to go on to grad school or something. Have you considered that?
Everything's on the table. I have not actually considered it, but after tonight, I definitely will have it in my mind. I've got quite a handful of books on the back burner. If I return to Alder, it would be later, and I'm not sure how, but grad school is interesting. I feel like, there's a lot of side characters and friends and a lot of people in this series, and who knows what could happen.
Yeah.
I'm sure they all have a lot of places to go yet in their lives.
Yep. You have a lot to work with is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's a possibility for sure.
That's great. So, your first novel then was Changing Majors, and Changing Majors was a Goldie finalist.
Yeah, I was actually lucky enough to take two of them home.
Wow, that's awesome. What were they for? What were the categories?
So I got debut novel and
Nice.
also new adult.
Wow, fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm so thrilled and grateful and totally beside myself still.
Oh, that's fantastic. How did it feel? Like, just coming out of the starting block, you win two Goldies.
Oh man, it feels incredible. I just I think like being a newbie author and even just being an author, I think a lot of us can struggle with imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, every step of this process, I've been so shocked and happy and surprised by, like, even just finishing the book to begin with, and then having it get picked up by Bold Strokes Books was incredible. And then, having some positive feedback, because a lot of newbie authors like me, like, we don't have a giant reader base yet. We're working on it, building it up. So, like, that type of positive feedback is just, it's incredible. And I feel so thankful for it. And it's definitely given me a lot of spark and encouragement on my new journey of being an author. So I just can't tell you how grateful I am. I'm just so happy about it.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And, hopefully when people hear this podcast and hear, about your books, you'll have some more fans.
Yeah, that's the dream. I appreciate you.
So Anna, has your life changed at all since becoming a published author?
Yeah, it has a lot, in so many different ways. And one of them, and one of my favorite ways is, like, I just gained such a beautiful, lovely community, and it felt like overnight. And I'm so overjoyed by them. I've made so many wonderful friends, and yeah, my life is way more full for it. Is one of the ways. And then another way is I was living in Seattle with my wife for about 7 years, and we moved back to where I'm from, which is Atlanta, right before the pandemic. And I had to quit my job that I'd been at for about 5 years at the winery that I worked at out there. And I was in winemaking, and there's just not the same industry here. So I felt like I had a bit of loss of identity there, and kind of, a loss of one of my passions in what I do. Obviously, I still drink wine, but writing has just filled me right back up, and even more so. So it's turned into an awesome passion of mine, and has just, changed my life for sure. I hope that this is what I get to do forever, and I'm definitely working towards that.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's like a happy story.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, like out of the this pandemic where a lot of a lot of people really felt a lot of losses. You were able to come out of that with some really positive changes in your life, which is unusual for that time, which is really incredible. Good for you.
Yeah, definitely. I feel extremely lucky. Yes.
Nice. So you mentioned your wife. So I got to ask, does your wife beta read for you?
Yeah, she does. She definitely helped a lot with changing majors and beta for catching feelings, and not so much on chasing Cypress. But what she's super good at is helping me work through, like, plot roadblocks, even if she hasn't read my manuscript yet.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just go on a walk and she'll be like, well, why don't you just do this? And I'm like, that's it. And then like most of the books I have casually plotted for the future are all her ideas. So don't let me take all the credit for them.
I won't tell anyone.
Yeah, that's just between us.
Well,
Yeah,
that's great.
definitely a huge help for
Oh,
sure.
wonderful. And do you have other beta readers besides your wife? Like,
I don't really. I don't think it really occurred to me to have beta readers. Like the people who naturally have like read my manuscript first.
mhm.
I have had a couple of friends, close friends who aren't authors or, in the industry at all, but have just like given me encouragement and a couple of tips, but nothing like line edits or um, big kind of editing like that.
Mhm.
I think I'm nervous to have a legitimate beta reader.
Yeah, a beta reader can be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah,
It can
right.
be, someone who not necessarily does edits, but someone who's just like, hey, this doesn't seem real to me that this would happen, or hey, this is
Totally.
great. Maybe you could, add more to this.
Yeah, I think you're totally right. And it might be something I do in the future. I think I also like feel like writing my manuscript is like I almost feel like I'm doing it under covers. And like, I think it's really hard for me before it's like super polished to like let someone read it.
Yeah.
Uh, that isn't like legally bound to me.
Yeah. 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 I hear ya.
But I definitely think it's super useful, and maybe I will dip my toes into a beta reader one day. That was a really weird sentence, but I'm just gonna roll with it.
It worked.
Hey, yeah. So maybe one day.
Okay. All right. So, what? Who are some of your own favorite authors?
Oh man, I have so many. I mean, I'll start with some of the BSB ones, the Bold Strokes books. Georgia Beers was probably like one of my first forays into lesbian romance. Melissa Braden, Radcliffe, Chris Bryant, just so many awesome authors. And then Jay, Erica Lee, Melina Mackay. I'm just I know I'm forgetting so many others, but I've actually just finished Falling by Chris Bryant and The Headmistress by Melina Mackay. And I had been in a reading slump, and those just reinvigorated me so much. I think I messaged Melina that I wanted to steal her descriptive voice from her.
That's quite a compliment, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I was very impressed for sure.
that's so great. So, you have you met all these authors personally? Like, have you been able to, you know, meet anyone that you're in awe of?
Yeah, definitely. I've been super lucky to be able to meet Chris Bryant, Melissa, Georgia, and Radcliffe, who I think when I met, I was just jaw dropped. She signed one of her books for me, and it just thrills me to be able to write under someone so prolific and outstanding
Mm,
as Radcliffe is. So I was definitely in awe of her. And
yeah.
of course, Georgia Beers and Melissa Braden and Chris Bryant, just the same, just fumbling my words like a fool.
I'm I'm sure you weren't, but yeah, yeah. Rad is like the grand dame of the industry, right?
Right? That's why we're all here.
Yep. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did you meet everyone out at the Golden Crown conference?
Yeah, so I had originally met a lot of them at Provincetown at Women's Week,
Oh yeah.
but that was the October before Changing Majors came out, and no one knew who I was, and I just kind of inserted myself. I think Morgan Lee Miller was there, and I made her be my friend and introduced me to everyone. And I'm so glad I went, because that was the beginning of all of these friendships, and getting to go to the Golden Crown Literary Society conference this summer in Albuquerque just really solidified all of those friendships, and was just a fabulous time. And even though I miss them all so much right now, I get to see most of them again in 5 or 6 weeks at Provincetown. It's been a wild year.
Awesome. So you're going up to P-Town for Women's Week again?
Going up to P-Town, and I absolutely cannot wait.
Awesome. Well, have fun.
Yes.
I'm jealous. I won't be able to make it this year. But
were you there last year?
No, it was I think because of COVID and everything.
Oh yeah. It was still pretty risky. I mean, it still is, I reckon.
Yeah, I know. So many people I know are like, "Oh, I just had COVID," and I'm like, "God, geez."
Yeah, I thought I was gonna be. Thought I was never gonna get it, and right when I got cocky about it earlier this summer, I got it.
Oh no! Did you have like bad symptoms?
No, I mean, I felt pretty sick, but I feel like I've been sicker in the last 2 years than I was with COVID, so I was very lucky.
Wow, that's good. Yeah, well, I'm still a COVID virgin, so.
Oh, congratulations.
Thanks.
I hope it stays that way for you.
I know, me too. I think I was just reading, there's only like 15% of the population that hasn't had it or something like that, or maybe that's just in the United States, I forget, but.
Yeah, I mean, that honestly sounds like high to me. I feel like there'd be like 3% that hasn't gotten it. It's like it just got everyone this summer, I feel like.
Yeah. I don't know. We did it. We have some family members who are immunocompromised, so we really try to, just maintain distance and wear a mask, and sometimes still I'll wear a mask if I go into, like a crowded place. So.
For sure. Well, maybe next year for P-Town.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
Fingers
for
crossed.
sure. Yeah. So, Anna, what do you do when you're not writing?
Oh, when I'm not writing, well, for work, I work at a local distillery here. I bartend, and then I help them bottle over at the warehouse. So it kind of fills the wine world whole a little bit. I'm learning a lot more about spirits and distilling, which I also really love.
What are you making?
So over there, they make bourbon, vodka, gin, and like a lemon ginger liqueur.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's definitely fun, learning a lot. And I'm drinking wine. I still have all of my wine here, so I keep, honing that hobby as well. I have lots of books, and then beyond alcohol, I like to hang out with my wife, and we have a big fluffy German Shepherd who we like to force to take walks because he is getting old and grumpy.
Yeah. And
he is less interested in walks these days, but got to keep him strong. I want him to live forever, so he has a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
He's a big boy. But yeah, I like to walk around the local trails, and I love to go out to eat. So I try to save my money so I can take myself out on fancy dates. And I guess my wife, Sarah, can come too.
I'm sure she appreciates that.
Yeah, for sure.
So, you've met a lot of authors, like established authors, and even, in college. And did you major in like English or creative writing in college?
Oh man, no, not at all. I honestly hated writing. Like,
what?
It was my least favorite part about school. which is pretty ironic. I feel like if you would have told me I was going to be an author, I would have been like, oh, please, like literally anything else. I don't want to write all day. I actually majored, well, I changed my majors a couple of times, fittingly so, and I majored in agriculture, actually.
Wow.
My degree is in fruit and vegetable production.
Wow.
And I chose that degree because I already knew that back then I wanted to be a winemaker, and I thought that was the best degree to get me to that point. But I went to college in Alabama, so I mostly learned about how to grow peaches and pecans.
How about that? That's unique. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's so I have some background for chasing cypress in the agriculture world for sure.
Have you read any of Aurora Ray's books?
Oh yeah. Oh, I meant to add Aurora Ray to all my list too. Yes. Oh man, Recipe for Love.
I'm gonna tell her you forgot about her.
Oh my gosh, no, don't. What's it called? The Inn at Netherfield Place with the gin distiller.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we have a lot of similar interests for sure.
And she has the whole the hard pressed, and like that's coming out.
Yeah, I'm so excited to read that one for sure.
It's great.
She's awesome, and she's helped me out a lot. I am still doing a little TikTok series where I make cocktails after authors or for authors. Call my little cocktails, and it's pretty fun. And I'm gonna do one for her. She sent me some bitters from Louisiana that I'm gonna use in her cocktail. So I'm
cool.
really excited about that.
That's so cool. Awesome. Good
deal.
Good deal. Good for you. So having met all these distinguished authors, and maybe, I don't know, in school somewhere, someone maybe gave you some advice, but what's the best writing advice anyone has ever given to you?
Well, I loved one of Georgia Beers' TikToks recently was her advice for newbie authors. And I got it recently, but I will always have it in my head because it is to the point. And she says, just sit your ass in the chair and write.
That's so true.
I think, that's the one thing you have to do is just sit your ass in the chair and write, because that's it. Like, whether you're a plotster or a pantser or whatever, you just gotta get into your routine, and that's how I do it. Like I try to write at the same time every morning with my same coffee, and when I sit down, it's just kind of like muscle memory.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
I just got to get there.
So you're a pretty disciplined person then.
Oh, with writing, I am.
Okay.
It's like the one thing in my life that I'm pretty disciplined with, for sure. I'm never organized, but I just kind of put together my little writing nook, and I've got my whiteboard, and it's really neat right now. And I have like highlighters, which is just, I don't think I've ever owned a highlighter. I even have Post-it notes. I don't know who I've become, but yeah, I guess I am disciplined when it comes to writing. I think you have to be. You're turning
into a writer.
And I think I'm going to try to write 3 books next year.
Wow.
Yes. So I definitely need to be on top of it. So
that is ambitious.
I know. I'm really scared, but I really want to make this work, and why not go for it?
Good for you. Go for the gusto.
I'm just gonna jump right in.
All right. And where might we find these Georgia Beards TikToks?
I think she's just maybe Georgia Beers Books.
Oh, okay.
She also reposts them to her Facebook and Instagram stories.
Okay,
So even if you don't have a TikTok, I think you can watch them through those platforms as well.
all right. I'll have to check those out.
Yeah, and Melissa Braden also. She has awesome TikToks. She's just hilarious.
She is. I've seen some of hers. Yeah, I had the two of them together on my show earlier this year.
Oh, that's awesome. I got to listen to that one.
Yeah, it was like I think it was the Valentine's Day special. So.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Queens.
Yep. Definitely.
Yeah.
So Anna, do you have any parting words for our listeners?
Oh, yeah. I think I would say sit your butt in the chair. The metaphorical chair, right, of whatever you're doing. No, but also, it's just been such a pleasure to be on this podcast. And if you fancy, please go check out Catching Feelings. I know everyone's going through a league of their own withdrawals. And I got some softball for you to ease your pain. So
Nice. So it's called Catching Feelings. It comes out Thursday, September 1st, and it's available through Bold Strokes Books at their website. And then on September 13th, it is available everywhere you buy your books.
Yep, that's correct.
Awesome. We can't wait to read it.
Yeah, I hope you all like it. I think it's my favorite one so far that I've written. So
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Anna, for being on the show. It's been really amazing to talk to you. Really a pleasure. This is Anna Hartnett Reichardt. And that's all the time we have for today. And I'm Anita Kelly, and thanks for joining Liz Talk About Books, baby. So until next time, may your journey be lighthearted, peace be plenty, and stay safe, folks.